How now brown a cow?
Brap, brap, bap, bap, boop. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, I also looked up how to work our mixer. I'm gonna run with this wee bit of kit as well. So this is the iRig 2. We picked this up for like $30 and Costco. This is a podcast that doesn't stop. We stop for no man.
We sleep.
Or
we
woman.
don't sleep.
We've got 2 candles on the table.
Fuck. You just don't give a fuck anymore.
Nah.
Clearly.
Well, you are coming in at a perfect -9 when you talk. I'm coming in at a perfect -9 to -6 decibels. We're not even touching the zero, so we're going to give ourselves some clearance there, some headway. We're looking at about an hour 45 flight time. And
on ramp.
Yahtzee. Oh, I think I just opened Geom. I did. Oh God.
I think I just opened Geom.
Here we go. You ready? Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 60 of the Empty Promise podcast. My name is Chris, and tonight I am joined in our studio by my best friend in the whole wide world, James D. Downey.
Hello.
Thank you for being here on what is episode 60 on the 27th of September 2018.
2018?
It's a cold, blustery evening, and temperatures are still plummeting outside, so we're going to get this wrapped up nice and quick.
Well, that's been the Empty Promise podcast. Thanks very much for joining.
Thank you for joining us, Dee. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here, Chris.
We're on episode 60.
I know.
Any real significance to this one? No?
Yeah, no, I think we're going to be like a person who just turned 60. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think when we hit 50, it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is like the halfway milestone. Yeah. Now we're like 6/10 of the way there, and we're just like
6/10 of the way to what?
100. Yeah, of course.
Can we not bring that down a little? Can we?
6/10. We could bring it down to like 3/5.
Yeah, 3/5.
We're 3/5 of the way there.
That's still awful.
That's incredible.
We're just over halfway there.
Yeah, we're a little over halfway there. If you're joining us once again, thank you. I'll let you know now that, remember, you can find this podcast, if you're watching the video version, this podcast is available over on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, any other podcast hosting service, and vice versa. If you're listening to the podcast, you will find the video version where you'll see us in our lovely set.
Mm-hmm. And are being our lovely selves. And Chris fucking up the set as he speaks.
So I picked this up at Best Buy. Dee, I've got some random facts for you on this day. Mm-hmm. It is the 27th of September Day, which means in 1389. Jesus Christ.
That's going a long way back.
That's
how can we even be sure? I don't know what this is yet, but I'm already suspicious. That's too far back.
Cosimo de Medici, the great statesman and financier from Florence, is born.
What is it? De Medici? What is it?
De Medici, yeah.
That's in Assassin's Creed too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cosimo de Medici. Yeah.
Yeah. They invented banking.
Really?
I learned that in Assassin's Creed too.
Jesus, there we go. Yeah, well, that makes sense because he's a statesman and financier.
No,
so there you go. That's perfect. That's perfect for this evening.
Fucking awful.
There is a list to go on with this one, but I'm not going to read that list because that's a real boring list.
You got a better list.
All this brought to you by Philip Ardaz's book of absolutely useless lists for absolutely every day of the year. D. Later on this week in 1936, Pinewood Studios are officially opened in England.
Penguin Studios?
Pinewood. Penguin
Studios. I'm much more interested in that, to be honest with you. Is that where Pingu was made?
No, Pingu shot on set.
Pinewood, that's where they did Harry Potter, no?
Yeah, well, here are at least 20 films filmed, at least in part, in Pinewood Studios. Alexander.
Just Alexander.
You know that god-awful movie with Colin Farrell and
yes.
Angelina Jolie.
That was all shot in a studio?
Well, at least in part. The Batman series.
The original?
Yeah.
Cool.
Carry On series. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the Tim Burton one, by the way. Chitty Bang Bang. The Da Vinci Code. Doctor in the House. Doctor No, and most of the other Bond films were shot there. Aragon. You know
that's that film that disappointed basically every Aragon film.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The Fifth Element. Interview with a Vampire. Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Miss Potter, Mission Impossible, The Mummy, Nanny McPhee, Planet of the Apes, Superman series, Thunderbirds, and Trouble in Store.
What is that?
I don't know. It's with Norman Wisdom.
God, you hit some big hitters.
Highs and lows.
And then it was just like Trouble in Store, and I'm like, what?
It's Norman Wisdom, so I don't know who Norman Wisdom
I don't know who that is.
I've heard that name thrown about, but
I wonder if any of these films are going to be involved later in our Kevin Bacon game.
The Kevin Bacon game, which we hope you're playing along with. Thank you to Shawnee Mac again this week for suggesting another absolutely god awful actor.
There's one thing I'll say about Shawnee Mac is he knows how to make things awkward.
Yeah.
He's a talent for it.
I know, yeah. It's like when he's here, the podcast is just so fucking awkward, you know?
But we love you, man.
It's so excruciating.
Keep sending in the suggestions.
So yeah, that was a little tidbits on Pinewood Studios. We hope that you learned something from that.
I still think it should have been Penguin Studios.
Penguin Studios would have been great. Pinewood.
I feel like if I ever have enough money to open a studio, I'm probably not going to call it Penguin Studios.
If I have enough money to open a Studio D, I'm calling it Treehouse Publications.
Nice. Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say it.
Not Exide Gaming Studio.
You cut me to that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Beat you to the chase?
Because that is it. If you want to read some original Treehouse publications,
mm-hmm.
you go into fucking Biddy Healy's art class up on the wall.
Damn right.
Yeah, probably gone.
Treehouse Publications
like
is like publication that I've always wanted to make. So like if I ever made content, which we do now, but if I ever made decent content and we needed like a publisher, I would definitely use Treehouse. And I always picture the wee logo. It's like black and white, and it's just a wee tree, and then all you hear is like and a wee stickman falls out of the tree.
Perfect.
Treehouse Publications.
I have a feeling there's going to be a Treehouse Publications out there somewhere.
Oh God, I hope not.
We'll have to buy them out.
We are,
whenever we have the money to do
or
that.
We'll settle.
Yeah.
We'll settle.
We'll take your money.
D, let's talk about some of the news this week. Because it's been it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and we're sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason for it being 2 weeks, we got new equipment.
That's right.
That's what I'm putting this down to.
Yeah, well,
new equipment
for sure.
We got new equipment. That took us 2 weeks.
Well, there's more. It's connected to behind the scenes stuff. There's more going on.
So we got a couple of little bits and pieces in the studio. This is the iRig 2. You can pick us up for like $30. No, anybody in music, I guess, knows what this is. It's used for like guitars. Specifically, that's why there's a little guitar.
This is what it looks like to me. Could I plug my guitar in there?
Yep.
And then my headphones in here?
Yep.
And listen to the guitar.
I'm pretty sure you can, yeah.
I love the iRig too.
It's used in music, but apparently it can be used in podcasting and radio. You know, it's a cheap method of pretty much if we wanted to ever make phone calls or receive a phone call from you guys, which we will be doing. When we can't get some of the guys to the podcast, we'll just phone them.
I think that's the only way we're going to get Sinker back on podcast.
100%. We know that now.
Over the phone.
And so pretty much he'll be able to hear us through our mixer and vice versa. We'll be able to monitor his sound, mute him, unmute him,
when necessary.
Mute us, unmute us. We got that. We got new headphones that have come in, courtesy of Artix. What is it?
It's not Anthrax, I know. I sure hope it's not.
These are Artix. I'm sorry if you're not watching the actual podcast, but we're demonstrating these.
We're showing off our fucking gear.
These are Artix headphones, over-ear headphones, noise-cancelling headphones. They are collapsible, retractable. Comes with about a 1.5 meter cable, 3.5 mil. You got your male, female, and I'm sorry. I'm just pulling your leg.
If you want to pick one of these puppies up, you can use our affiliated link in the description.
Use our discount code. You got like 10% off if you say Chris sent you.
I fucking wish we had that.
We'll get there.
Eventually, yeah.
But no, we picked up some headphones and we got a couple more bits for the mixer that you'll see next week. In case you're like, why the hell are these guys just wearing headphones? It's so that we can monitor our sounds.
I love the way though. It's like we had to take a week out to get all this equipment ready. And we're not using any of it.
That's because you have to take the first week to show it off.
That's it, yeah.
And then
we can't show it off, it's on our heads. Like.
No, of course not. And
that wouldn't make any sense.
But yeah, that's pretty much been the reason. D was also on holidays, so we wanted to give him a nice break from his holiday.
That's it.
He was filled with, euphoria. You stress.
Yeah, you know, I got back and then the last thing I wanted to do was podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually really wanted to do the podcast.
Same.
Couldn't
Really
find
bad.
the time.
I was considering doing a solo project, and I was just like,
You
nah.
son of a bitch. All right. So we can just do solo projects now?
I was going to say, what if I phone you and we test this
I
out?
know, that would have been interesting,
You know?
actually. I would have been hanging and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
No news this week, Chris. I'm going back to
No news at all. But yeah, that was the week. That's where we took a bit of time off. So we're back now. It's been 2 weeks. So there's a bit of news to catch up
You
on.
would think we have 2 weeks worth of news to give.
But really what we've done, we've condensed all the good news into 1 week.
Yeah. We barely have 1 week.
Let's start with what we missed last week, T, and that is the announcement that Sony are releasing the
ColecoVision 10.
The PlayStation Mini will be hitting stores.
Chris, come on.
Oh, it's the
PlayStation
Classic.
It's the Nintendo Entertainment System Classic. It's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic. None of them are called Mini, right? It's gone on long enough.
It's a Mini. I'm sorry.
It is a miniature version.
Yeah, you can hold it in your hand. You know?
You can bring it in your pocket.
Take it to the shower.
It's like our podcast.
But yeah, Sony have announced that they're releasing their version of these mini stature consoles, coming preloaded with 20 original PS1 titles, and that's in stores not in stores, but it's releasing worldwide 3rd of December, I think.
Just in time for Christmas.
I think I went on to Amazon last week when I was getting this stuff, and I had it in my basket, and
it's like 80 quid.
Yeah, refreshed the page and it was gone. I was like, are these going to be pretty hard to pick up?
How much was the NESs and SNESs?
$79.99.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I still think that's I mean, you're getting 20 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's not about the value; it's about the fact that it's a mini console.
It's collectors. Might pick up 2.
So, like,
put
you
one
did
aside.
that last time.
Did that last time?
You sold that one yet?
No. I'm going to keep that until like years and years. 1000th podcast, we'll open that. Be like, you remember this?
Oh man,
I remember the original. But yeah, that was that bit of news. Nothing else from last week really stood out in terms of news.
Yeah. I never got any out because you know, it's just such a quiet week. And
let's talk about the news this week, then.
Could be bad looking. Well, Chris, hopefully you'll buy me some time while I open my phone.
Of course.
And find the news that I prepared for this week.
Yes. What about? So you didn't hear too much of The Last of Us 2?
Is this?
Naughty Dog yesterday.
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday, the 26th.
I guess you heard none of this.
So The Last of Us 2, there's like a new poster. We've seen a new poster, and it kind of gives us a better look at Joel in this sequel. A new Last of Us poster featuring Joel has been released for Outbreak Day 2018. So Outbreak Day being the day, that this.
What is Outbreak Day? Do we know Outbreak Day?
So Outbreak Day is basically, I'm pretty sure, when this virus or whatever struck in Geom.
But like, do we know the date of Outbreak Day?
26th of September, and then 5 years ago. So
2013.
Yeah, that's whenever. I'm pretty sure that's whenever The Last of Us was released. Would that be right in PS3?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think so. So pretty much Naughty Dog and Sony decided to release a whole bunch of new Last of Us 2 merch on this day, giving
go get your merch.
So there's new vinyls with the Last of Us soundtrack on it. There's collectible bits of like there's t-shirts and things like that. I've seen some pendants, posters. What else have I seen? This was really awkward, actually. I've seen a couple of people giving out about this. So the PlayStation Store released the new kind of theme. It's Ellie holding the rifle, walking through the woods. And but it was like hid for ages and nobody could find it.
It was there, but you couldn't find it?
It was there, but you couldn't find it. And a load of people were giving off, being like, we can't find this. Like, why would they fucking hide this thing? Say that, here we go, we're giving it to you. Anyway, the poster that we see shows Joel sitting down in what appears to be a wooded area, playing an acoustic guitar next to a wolf.
It just gets more and more surreal.
I know. Enemies in the most recent gameplay demonstration of The Last of Us called Ellie the Wolf.
Oh, cool.
Suggesting that this beast represents the sequel's protagonist. Though his eyes are obscured, sporting what looks like a new haircut, Joel appears to be about the same age as in the first game, though the sequel takes place years later. Ellie's arm tattoo in the sequel features a moth.
It doesn't take place that much later. She's about 3 or 4 years older.
No,
5 years older.
Yeah,
But like his age, those guys, you don't age that much in 5 years when you're like 40s, 50s.
Sorry, just to go back to September 26th marks Outbreak Day, the day in The Last of Us that the cordyceps fungus hit critical mass.
Nice.
So there we go. Announced alongside the poster for Outbreak Day 2018, The Last of Us Part 2, Avatar's free dynamic PS4 system theme, an Ellie tattoo t-shirt, that's what it was. The Last of Us original soundtrack, Volume 1 vinyl, and some more bits and pieces. The Last of Us Remastered for the PlayStation 4 has received a 50% discount on the PlayStation Store until October 2nd.
Critical Mass is a good name for a game, isn't it?
Very good name. Yeah. Was there not a
Pick
film?
up Critical Mass today, probably.
Yeah. The original game is now sold over 17 million units.
Oy, that's a lot of units.
It kind of got me a wee bit excited again, Dave. I'm not going to lie, seeing the...
Yeah. I'm looking forward to TLOU 2. Mm-hmm. Did I get that right? Yes. Fucking nailed it.
Dee, let's talk about some more pressing news. Did you hear about the sinkhole?
Yeah,
Carrick McCross.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely bizarre.
So anybody that hasn't heard about this, okay, I'm going to butcher this. Drumgossett National School, which is up in Carrick McCross, which is literally just up the road from us, like not too far away, has been evacuated and closed due to a sinkhole opening under the ground, basically throughout the football pitch, throughout the grounds of the school.
There's just like an earthquake hole in the ground.
Yeah. And the cause of this being that there was old silver mines up there, and one of the it pretty much collapsed, and now it's causing this whole ruckus. There's a picture of it there, D.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
it's mental.
It's like in a film whenever like an earthquake happens,
it's like
and the ground just cracks.
The ground just completely splits. It's unbelievable. You just don't hear that kind of stuff around us.
No.
Due to the collapse of the gypsum mine in the area, the whole community centre of the school will close immediately. Can parents please collect their children as soon as possible? Please spread the word. We hit critical mass.
Come get them quick.
A Garda spokesperson said Garda at the scene of the incident in Mahercloon, County Monaghan. There's diversions up, blah blah blah.
There's not really much you can do about
more
that.
More news when we get it. I mean, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
We just have to move that school.
Pretty much.
Pick it up
and
move it.
They're going to get a new school built, I'd assume. I mean, you can't go back into the mine and like reinforce it, can you?
No, it's done. Like,
yeah,
it's collapsed. It'd be too dangerous to go in and do that.
It fascinates me though, like that those mines were even used there. Do you know what I mean?
You never hear about mining like in Ireland, let alone Monaghan of all places.
No,
but apparently there's like gold in Monaghan.
That's right. Remember that there was like a phase there like years ago when people were going nuts over like gold found in
gold rush, Chris.
There was a gold rush for a time. People were just going nuts and fucking taking time off work to go gold rushing and all that.
But apparently it's bad gold because it's like very impure.
Tainted,
yeah, very impure. But it's
gold's gold. Yeah, I mean, it can't be that bad.
I'll take it. I was just thinking when I was younger, I could just dig down. Eventually, you're gonna hit gold. That's just how it works. I live near Monaghan. Just keep digging.
You could. I mean, for all we know, if we start digging now, we will like uncover like Aztec gold.
You know what?
Washed over in the Ice Age.
Right. Science on the Empty Promise podcast.
Have you heard of manspreading?
Manspreading.
Yes.
Manspreading.
Yeah.
No.
I know. I don't know if any of our listeners have heard this. This is a piece of news that I came across during the week, and I was kind of like, I was a bit taken aback by it at first, and then I thought about it, and I was like, what the hell is going on with the world, right? So a law student has embarked upon a campaign to stop people from manspreading.
Right.
Now, manspreading is basically when men sit on public transport with their legs open.
Yes.
Legs, slightly ajar, basically. And well, she has taken it upon herself. Anna Dovgliak, I think is her name. She's 20, and she is filmed pouring diluted bleach onto men's crotches throughout subways, buses, trains to stop them in St. Petersburg, to stop this from happening.
Okay. I can see how that's going to end up for her.
She's accused men who carry out the practice as gender aggression and calls manspreading, sitting with legs wide open on public transport, a disgusting act.
Well, I mean, there's things to be, you have to navigate around certain things as a man.
I mean, this is what I don't get.
I don't like that. I sit how I choose to sit.
I don't like. I'm just scrolling through some of the.
I don't know. The cynic in me thinks she's 20 years old, and she just wants to make a difference. So she's doing something.
That's what I mean. This
get
will
attention.
never catch on.
No,
surely.
it won't.
You know what I mean? I mean,
It's like a stunt, Chris.
yeah. It's
You'll
like
find out in like 10 years. She's like, yeah, I'm a what do you call them? Artists. Who
oh,
do,
like yeah, I know what you mean. Like they just do crazy shit.
yeah, like
Just this is art. Like,
it's
no,
art.
It's, not.
It's okay because it's art.
Like how many pairs of like trousers has she ruined with bleach?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that not like, you know?
Illegal.
Yeah, it's bound to be illegal. Like I know manspreading is not illegal.
I mean that's so stupid. I mean men. I mean
It's not like they're taking off like additional seats. Or
no,
not.
but it is a little uncomfortable to sit with your legs completely closed. You know, you have to.
As
sit,
a man, you either have to sit with them, you know, apart. You can't have your knees together when you're sitting.
no.
Or you could, but you have to put your legs out in front of you, which is just as bad.
Which is just bad because then your feet are in the way. Someone can
Yeah.
trip and fall.
You know, that's just not comfortable.
I
I know
just
you
don't-
can't see beneath the table because we are both nude from the waist down.
Yeah, of
But
course.
we're trying to do that, and it's like it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Not at all.
Don't tell me how to
sit?
use my body.
No, I know.
Okay.
I just think it was fucking stupid. I seen it. I couldn't believe it when I was reading it.
Well, I concur. I think that's
I have another bit of kind of unbelievable news if you want me to throw that out.
go on for it. Why not?
So there was a man in India, who was removed from a domestic flight, removed from the plane. I will give you £100 if you can tell me why he was removed from that plane. Plane was on the runway, ready to take off.
He was like feathering a chicken.
No, he tried to get into the cockpit to charge his phone.
Fuck.
I
Poor
swear
bastard.
to God.
I can just imagine him going, "Come on, let me in."
No, he wanted to charge
It's
his
on
phone.
20%.
The man who is Indian, who some Indian media reports said was intoxicated, although that hasn't been, fully clarified. Tried to enter the cockpit while the plane prepared for takeoff in the western city of Mumbai, saying he needed his phone to be charged. He was removed from the aircraft and handed over to police on grounds of a security violation. Police questioned the man but released him soon after. It's the second such incident this week. Monday, a passenger
Does this happen more
aboard a
often?
flight from Delhi to the Bihar state capital Patna was spotted trying to open the rear door of the aircraft while it was in midair. Another passenger raised the alarm and the man was stopped by the crew. He was handed over to the police upon landing.
I'd say they're just bollocksed, drunk. They're just like, I'll just charge it in here.
Do they not? Do most planes not come as standard now with USB ports?
They do not.
Do they not? No.
Well, the two planes I was on did not. Ryanair, for example, they're not gonna. If they did come with USB, they charge £1 an hour. To
Yeah.
use it, like, or €1 an hour. Or whatever.
That's crazy though. Like, imagine trying to get into a plane, into a cockpit to charge your phone.
I know, like
Like
you can
there's-
do without.
There's things that you like post 9/11 you do, and things that you don't. I somehow
I don't
feel.
think it's ever really a
I
good idea.
somehow
to do
feel
that.
though that like before 9/11, had you tried to
I
do
know
that,
what
it
you
kind of
mean.
would have been like,
No.
oh no, just sit down.
Oh, give
you
it
know.
here then.
Give it here. I'll drop it back to you in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
you know,
like, remember they used to do the things where like kids could go.
they
into
used
the
to take
cockpit?
kids up the cockpit.
You know
and
what I
show
mean?
them,
Like,
yeah.
it's, I could see, maybe post pre 9/11 it might have been
Now little
accepted.
fucking
Like,
little Bobby or little Muhammad going up the cockpit could equally be a fucking activist member in ISIS for all we know.
For all you know.
You know.
or that's just how they get into
Yeah.
democracy.
Well, that's it. Have you got any real news before I mean, I have a couple more tidbits, but I don't class them
I
as
got
real
news.
news.
I got news, Chris. I got good amount of news.
I like having like a nice break in our news from stupid news to tidbits.
Spider-Man is the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Not the most sold, but the fastest,
selling.
So 3.3 million copies sold within the first 3 days. Says something.
So 1.1 million copies a day.
Share something. Yes.
That's fast math.
We
You
could
can
use
take
it
that
in
to the
Tulsa.
bank.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a thing. Oh yeah, big one. Another gaming related one, but like just kind of a shocker. The Walking Dead creators
That's right.
Telltale
Games
are no more.
shut down.
They've shut down because
Yep.
they've ran out of money apparently.
Yep.
Which is a bit mad because they seem to be doing so well.
Did you enjoy the Telltale games? I understand. I haven't played on them, but they're obviously they're story based, aren't they? They're,
Heavily story based. Yeah,
They're not. Yeah.
They're like an interactive story essentially. Like you do take part in it, and you have to go do. Maybe sometimes you solve little puzzles. Like for the most part, you're just
Yeah.
you're just deciding. It's like create your own story kind of thing. But they're good. Like they've got good narratives.
They did Batman, The Walking Dead.
They did Batman, The Walking Dead,
Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft
story modes. Yeah.
They did the Wolf Among Us. They did Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands. They did Game of Thrones. They were gonna do Stranger Things, or they might still be doing Stranger Things. They're halfway through season 3 of The Walking Dead, and apparently it's just not gonna happen.
It's a big studio as well, like, isn't it? Just for them to.
It's surprising. It's surprising. Not only that though, Chris, but some of the employees or former employees, I suppose, have. I'm pretty sure I saved this. I guess I didn't see of that, but apparently they're starting a class action lawsuit against them for breaching labor laws. Right. So apparently, I'm guessing they were worked pretty hard to try and make the money that they didn't have, and maybe weren't paid either. Right. So kind of just a surprising and unfortunate end for a company that was doing pretty well. Right. You would have assumed we're doing really well just by the number of the publicity they got. Yep. But that's crazy. Yeah, I remember reading that news and I was like, holy shit. They are no more. Crazy world, eh? I got 2 more sort of gaming related ones that I kind of want to talk about. The first one is that Red Dead Redemption 2 will have a file size of, what do you think? 65 gig. I wish. 85 gig. I wish. 105 gig. 105 gig. Oh my god, exactly. Are you serious? 105 gigabytes. Yeah. No way. Absolutely insane. So that would require more than 2 discs because it's 105. Oh my god. So probably 2 discs or just a big fucking download, Chris. Which we love. We fucking love it here. I am not. Oh my god, that's insane, man. Yeah. Like I haven't been pushed on getting this game, as you know, from day one. Yeah. This is just like bye bye. Shut the door. Is absolutely in love with this game at the moment. I read that been released. That they've went to such detail that the testicles on the horse will change in size and shape depending on the weather that they're in. I love that fact. I did not know that. I need this to be true. Repeat that for me, Chris. Okay, so the testicle size and shape on the horse varies depending on the climate. The testicles on the horse varies. Mm-hmm. That is wonderful. Apparently there's over 200 variations of animals in it as well. That's the level of detail they've went. Attention to detail is their MO, I guess. I hope I really enjoy this game, Deep. But are you going to get it? I don't know. It's 105 gigabyte. Like it's going to be like 2 days. That's a big chunk, like something. That was one piece of news. The other piece of news is, I think, really big and really important and really good, is that Sony have finally, I guess you could say, given in, but they've kind of like opened their doors to the possibility of crossplay with Nintendo and Xbox and PC with Fortnite. Yep. So as of yesterday, you can now enroll for a beta to play Fortnite with those other consoles. Yeah. Which is fucking insane. It's great. Because a year ago, this wasn't even a remote possibility, but now here we are. For anybody that doesn't really understand that or know what that means, it's pretty much if you have a Switch or you have an Xbox and say I have a PlayStation, if we both have the same game, which is Fortnite in this case, we can still play together online, which wasn't previously possible. Was not. But now it is beginning to open up. You could play Switch and Xbox. You could play Switch PC. You could play Xbox PC. You could do certain variations. But now that PlayStation, which is the biggest player in this generation, now that they're involved, it's gonna be should be good. Should be good. It should be good for the future. Yeah. I'm desperately trying to. Well, not desperately trying to. I'm going to pick up the mobile broadband that you're on at the minute currently, D. Well, your home house is now on. Yes. I'm going to opt for that, and hopefully that will increase my capabilities around this house. It certainly will, Chris. So let's hope that happens. I hope so too. And then it's going to open up a few more doors for me. I think it will. I think it'll both academically and career-wise. Of course. Yeah. I need to focus on my career right now. Did you hear about the latest director for the Bond movies? Is it the director from True Detective? Corey Fukushima or something? Yeah. Corey Fukunaga. He's done a series now on Netflix as well called Maniac. Yes, he looks absolutely class. I haven't seen any episodes yet, but it looks so good. He has a short but very impressive resume. Danny Boyle obviously parted from the film last month.
and now this
I was not aware of that.
new guy's taking over. So
I was not aware that Danny Boyle was attached.
Yeah.
I'm raging now.
Yeah. Now that Fukunaga is set as the Bond 25 director, Eon Productions and MGM seem finally ready to get production underway on the latest iteration of the James Bond franchise. Filming is slated to begin in March, with worldwide release scheduled for the February 14th, 2020.
That is unreal.
I mean,
possibly.
Do you enjoy the Bond films?
I enjoy the Daniel Craig Bond films, Casino Royale and Spectre. No, not Spectre. That other one.
Initial reports also stated that Daniel Craig obviously wanted out of the Bond mantle.
This is his last one, isn't it?
And that Tom Hiddleston could potentially replace him. After likely paying Craig handsomely, the actor confirmed he would reprise the role in an interview back in April. There were also rumors that Helena Bonham Carter would appear as Bond 25 as a villain.
Yeah, she would be the type to be a villain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's never going to be anything good, is she?
No. I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
I don't know why. I just don't like her.
It's because she's cast herself into that role. You know what I mean? Like she's cemented herself into that kind of weird hippie bad role. You know, and it's just that's it. Like
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't like seeing her in films.
No, no,
very rarely.
No, neither do I. But yeah, that's some more news.
She's Tim Burton's wife as well.
Yeah,
but they live in different houses.
Yeah, that's a successful marriage.
Yeah, they're doing well. Doing well.
One more small piece of news, D, before
I got film news as well.
Oh yeah, go hit me with your film news then before I finish off.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. I regret saying that. Well, kind of. Making a Murderer. Do you remember that TV show on Netflix? Part 2 is coming out. October 19th. I did not know that was coming.
Did you watch the first?
Yes.
Was it good?
Yes.
Right.
Very good. Very type of television that really gets you engaged. Everyone was talking about Making a Murderer. Like,
okay.
Everyone.
Perhaps we should do a podcast on Making a Murderer.
Perhaps when season 2 comes out.
We could be like the review show.
Did he do it?
Did he? I don't know. I don't know who we're talking about. You know what I'm actually going to start watching this weekday is because Ashton has Prime, so you can download it. I'm going to watch that Jack Ryan.
I downloaded the first 5 episodes to watch in the plane.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Because guess what? My battery died and I couldn't get into the fucking cockpit to charge it.
Oh, you need to go to India, my friends.
Yeah, that's where it's
apparently they have great service in India. But yeah, I'm going to start watching that, I think.
I think it looks good.
Good. I mean, John Krasinski. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, my film news, Chris, is, and I don't know if you knew about this or not. I might have talked about it before. I was shocked by this, and I'm intrigued as frig to see it. Joaquin Phoenix will star as the Joker.
What?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is going to take a stab at playing the Joker in a like a one-off film called Joker.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, for sure.
How did he manage to land that role?
Because he's like a fucking fantastic actor. And
but
does what he wants. That's why.
I mean,
because he does what he wants, Chris.
I thought I don't know. I thought maybe they'd give it to Jared Leto and actually let him loose, because apparently everything that we seen in Suicide Squad was the shit that he was like, oh yeah, but they cut off all the good work.
I want to see a lot less of Jared Leto.
Really?
As the Joker. He was awful. That style just doesn't work.
That's what I mean. That's because they took all the bad bits.
No, I think he was just... just not a good fit.
I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix is just such a fucking weird choice.
I know, but that's why I think that's why I'm so interested. Check it out. I got a picture of him in makeup.
That doesn't even look like Joaquin Phoenix, man.
I know, it looks so different.
Just now that I've seen that, it has reminded me to alert people that the whole killer clown craze is back.
Was it?
Yeah, it is. There was a schoolboy in England stumbled upon a clown on his way home from school or somewhere, and
clown college.
He pretty much told them run or die. So the wee boy ran, and I'm just like,
good decision.
I'm like, is this coming back? Like, I hate clowns.
I hope if it does come back, every single one of them gets put in jail.
I hope every single one of them
does time.
Gets beat to a bloody pulp first and then put in jail. Yeah.
Mix of both. Because that's just a fucking, I don't want to say the word, but C-word thing to do.
Yeah. It is completely. But I can restore some faith in humanity.
Please do.
Final bit of news for this week. Did you hear about the random act of kindness in, I think it was London? No, Germany. Always get them mixed up. Parking restrictions spark fury. No, sorry. Frustration more often than delight, but a newly installed sign in Wiesbaden in Germany has been declared as the most adorable act of random kindness ever, as social media users shared the story online. So food and travel writer Christy Dates, whose 4-year-old son has parked his bike by the same lamppost just about every day for the last year, has so he came down to the lamppost and found that the space has now been reserved specifically for him. A kind-hearted stranger has placed a sticker on the lamppost bearing a picture of the son's distinctive green and blue balance bicycle.
That's awesome.
This is it here. So
it doesn't surprise me one bit that happened in Germany as well.
See it? I'm not sure if you can see that there. I'll try to.
I've seen it, Chris.
So that's the link, and then that's his bike, and then the little thing. It's strictly for parking.
He must be young.
Huh?
He's a young kid.
Oh yeah, he's only like 4, I think. 4. Yeah.
That kid should not be on a bicycle in the city.
Stirs some, not stirs. Evokes emotions. It restores some faith in humanity. I think. You know, very cute thing to do. And did you also hear? No, I'm not even going to jump into that. That's fake news.
It's going to bring me back in doubt in humanity.
Yeah.
Smooth. We can cut that out. We'll get rid of that in post. Don't the laptop's gonna fucking cope off the.
No, we're fine.
You can leave that there.
What? Well, it's. I mean, have we even got tissues up here? I don't
think so.
No, we're fine.
It'll just evaporate.
Yeah, well.
Chris spilled his monster.
Oh, I know. I hate wasting things, Dave.
I'll get you a straw.
It's fine. But yeah, that just about wraps up the news for this week.
Before Chris ruins anything else, let's move on.
Remember, you can find this podcast and all the previous podcasts over at youtube.com. Just search for Excite Gaming. That is the umbrella in which we operate.
Did I tell you we now have... You can just go www.youtube.com.
You did not tell me that you didn't.
Excite Gaming.
Custom URL.
We have a custom
Are you freaking
URL.
kidding me? Okay, remember you can find this podcast and all the previous podcasts over at youtube.com. Just search www.youtube. No, what have I done? I could see the words going and I was like, stop. I just kept going. Oh dear.
youtube.com
/Excite Gaming.
Yeah.
That is the umbrella that we still operate under all of our videos and...
As the parent company to all of our subsidiaries, including the Empty Promise podcast and Treehouse Publications.
So quite soon, Treehouse Publications will be the father box owning Excite Gaming, which the Empty Promise podcast operates under.
We've been bought out. Oh, Jesus.
You can also find...
Shit. Sorry.
You can find the audio version of all the podcasts over at Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes. Take us with you on the go. Let us know what you think. Hit the like button or the heart button or review button. You know, give us 5 stars, whatever you need to do. We appreciate it very much. And thank you to everybody who gets in touch with us on the weekly basis, even if it's just to discuss either the pictures that we put up, the posts, or who get in touch with us with some questions for the podcast. With all that being said, we don't have the little jingle this week, but it's time for the Kevin Bacon game, courtesy of Shawnee Mac.
Shawnee Mac clock.
If this is your first week tuning in, basically it's a game set up by resident DJ Smack Lachlan, in which he gives us 2 actors at either side of the spectrum, most likely, and we have to get from one actor to another using movies that these actors using. How do I put
just 2 films they've been in, so I have to get
with other people. Yeah, basically. So this week, D. Now he's set up a couple of rules for this because you know what he's like.
Of course you did.
But we're gonna play this the straight way first of all. we're gonna play this just normally, and see how it goes, and then if we have time to. By the way, he said that we absolutely butchered last week's. That it took us eons. To get eons.
All right, Sean.
All right, Sean.
Sean Staffer. Eons, Sean. Eons. Sort your life out, man.
This week he wants us to get from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, star of such films as San Andreas, Pain and Gain, Scorpion King, to...
He's surely been in more than this.
To...
Why is it whenever we start to play this game, we just can't fit
I know, Baywatch.
Oh, yeah.
To Warwick Davis. So he is the... vertically challenged actor, British actor in
that's the best way to do it. Just
in Harry Potter, Solo, Force Awakens. I can't think of anything else. So if we can get from The Rock to Harry Potter
or Star Wars,
There's
only two I can really think of. Do TV shows count for this game? Because he was in that TV show.
I don't know.
Oh, what was it called? He was in a Ricky Gervais TV show.
I
forget what it was. Because if it counts, well, let me tell you, I'm no further on whatsoever.
Right. Okay. Let's start this off. Right. Who are we starting with? Let's start with The Rock because it's obviously. Right. Let's start with The Rock, and we got to pick a film. Why don't we go Fast and Furious? Because there's quite a few actors in it.
That's a good shout. Okay.
All of which you have only been in other Fast and Furious films.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is Vin Diesel.
No, wait. Vin Diesel has been in Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks.
That's right.
Tom Hanks opens up a whole host of problems.
Such a wide spectrum.
Tom
Hanks was in.
Tom Hanks was. Tom Hanks was in.
Tom Hanks and Harrison Ford are bound to have shared a film together.
Well, just give me another Tom Hanks movie. So Tom Hanks was in.
The Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code.
No.
The Da Vinci Code, he shared a role with Ian McKellen.
Yeah, Ian McKellen was in
The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
He
has to be a link between The Lord of the Rings
and
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
To be in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
I know he does a voice in Happy Feet. Does Daniel Radcliffe do a voice in Happy Feet? No. So. Clutching at straws here.
Yeah, I don't see why he would do that.
So we're at Ian McKellen.
That's he's another.
Yeah. We can leave it here for the night. We'll return to this next week. No, Ian McKellen is in The Lord of the Rings.
I keep getting to other I get to Star Trek. I get to Star Trek from Ian McKellen.
I'm trying to now kind of work backwards from. So are you trying to get to Star Wars? Yeah, is that where you're going with this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got Harry Potter as well.
Well, Star Wars, I think, opens up more to Harrison Ford.
Harry Potter was in so many as well. Harrison Ford and Ian McKellen have bound to be in a film together. Harrison Ford, Tom Hanks have bound to be in a film together. Sean Bean. Sean Bean is in The Lord of the Rings with Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
He's also in.
Hang on, why don't we just
Patriot Games?
Patriot
Games with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is in Star Wars with Warwick Davis.
Done.
Pew, 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 pew. Gotcha.
Done, Sean. I was going to go from... Who did you say that? Sean Bean? Sean Bean. I was going to go from Sean Bean to National Treasure Nicolas Cage, who is awesome. A national treasure. And then I was just going to leave it at that because if you get to Nick Cage, you win.
That's the rule we're adding.
Yeah, that's the rule. You win. He wanted to make this a little bit harder, and he wanted to do a possible size edition.
We're entering size mode.
So we work from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to Warwick Davis and alternate actors / actresses in bigger and smaller stature the whole way down the line. Does that make sense?
How did we get to Ian McKellen from doing The Rock Johnson?
So we went Vin Diesel, who is smaller than
The Rock.
The Rock. Now we need someone bigger than Vin Diesel.
Oh no, does not go smaller the whole
way.
No,
he wants us to go big, small, big, small. Big, small. No, we could go small the whole way down.
Yeah.
Which I think we did.
Kinda. So we went Vin Diesel to who?
Oh no, we went Ian McKellen to Sean Bean.
Where were Ian McKellen and Vin Diesel in the same film?
No, Tim Hanks.
Where were Vin Diesel and Tom Hanks in the same film?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah. Vin Diesel played Caparzo. He was the guy who got shot by the sniper.
I remember thinking that looks like Vin Diesel, that guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but it's probably not him.
Oh, he's dead.
But
doesn't matter. So we got there pretty okay. I'll tell you what, he give us another one.
Of course he did.
Why don't we go for the other one and we'll shoot that one straight as well because
we're just gonna fucking fly through this. We're on form now, boy.
Let me see. So he give us Michael B. Jordan to Eddie Redmayne.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan was in Creed. He was also... Oh, no, wait. Okay, so he was in He was in...
I haven't seen Creed.
I haven't seen many Eddie Redmayne films. That's where I'm struggling.
Eddie Redmayne.
He was in the what do you call it?
The Duchess.
Yeah, he was in that one. He was in the one about Stephen Hawking, which I can't remember the name
Wasn't he in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
He was in that too.
I don't know anybody else in that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know he's in it.
Felicity Jones is in one of them.
Who's Felicity Jones?
No, she's probably not. She's probably not in any of them. No, can't think.
No, that one.
Eddie Redmayne's too difficult for me.
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne's is his own kettle of fish there.
Yeah, I'm missing
Missing too many links.
Well, okay. What about Eddie Redmayne? Johnny Depp was in that film. I know Johnny Depp
is in what film?
Fantastic Beasts.
Okay, Johnny Depp.
Who are we getting to? Michael B. Jordan. Johnny Depp's in a bunch of shit.
Johnny Depp is in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
which is like
Orlando Bloom.
That was it. Really? There's a whole host of actors now.
That's the only one I can think of. Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom. Original trilogy, bro.
All right, okay. Orlando Bloom. You could have went Javier Bardem.
I know, but I struggle with that. Michael B. Jordan is...
Then you could have went Javier Bardem, Daniel Craig. Then you could have went Daniel Craig.
There's no way we're getting back to Creed from Daniel Craig, is there?
Is Sylvester Stallone in Creed?
Yeah.
Who's also in The Expendables with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Jason Statham is in something.
For sure. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I'm stuck with that one. I don't want to waste too much time on it either.
That one's just for the viewers at home.
That one's lingering. If you can get from Michael B. Jordan to Eddie Redmayne, please let us know.
We'll give you a sticker.
Just call the number 01199.
That's it. That's the number.
Podcast.
POD.
Good shout though, Shawnee. We appreciate those every week.
It was not Eons this time, Sean, was it?
It wasn't Eons. We hammered that first one. You know, that was easy. We didn't want to make it harder by choice.
That's it, you know.
What do you want to do now?
Save that for next week.
What do you want to do now? Do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, we got
a little topic.
Yeah, we got talking about sleep.
Jesus, pardon me.
That was so inappropriate.
Straight into the microphone as well. If we were wearing those headphones, we'd be deaf.
Well, I mean, we would have heard you do
it. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you. So I brought up the topic of sleep during the week.
Do we get enough of it?
Do we get enough of it? Basically, I want to hear your sleeping patterns. I want to tell you a little bit about some of the tips and tricks I've learned for sleep. The reason I got into it, D, was basically, right, I became interested in it because I thought, look, this is one part of my kind of daily schedule, my daily routine, that I don't feel like I'm under any kind of control with it.
Your sleep schedule?
I did. No, yeah.
Oh, you didn't?
I just figured that it was something, came to the end of the day, and it was something that I did. And that was
just happened.
Just went to sleep. That was it. If I got a good night's sleep, great. If I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think that there was factors involved. I didn't think that, it could change this. It just happened. And started reading up a little bit about it, about things, that can help control your sleep and how you can take those steps. Pills. So it just became, pills. That's it. And right now, if you use discount code, tell them Chris said it. So I'm interested to hear, D. So I've wrote down like a couple of questions and stuff just to ask you about like sleep and stuff. But I kind of want to find out about your sleep. And
I was anyway. I was a very competent sleeper.
Were you?
Yeah.
Really?
I had my sleep schedule down.
See?
Down well,
yeah.
boy.
Okay.
I knew all the tips, all the tricks.
Yeah. So you're well adjusted for this podcast.
I was a king, Chris. Well,
I was a king sleeper.
I got a lot better at it than I was at uni. That's kind of.
What's your sleep like now? Let me know what your schedule's like now.
Decent. It's decent. I get to sleep in a lot. Well, I don't get to sleep in, but compared to how I used to work, which was getting up at like fucking 7ish.
Yeah.
I now can get up at like 8.
Class.
I get up at like 6:30ish because I had to drive to work. Now I can get up at like 8 and be in there for 9. No bother.
It's that extra hour makes a difference.
Such a difference, like. But my sleeping life right now is pretty good. Like, yeah, I'm normally getting to bed at a comfortable, reasonable hour. This is top tip number 1. Just go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Reasonable hour. Yeah.
None of this after 2 in the morning.
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. anyway.
Thank you, How I Met Your Mother.
Thank you. Yeah.
They're correct.
I heard someone else quote that, but they said nothing good happens after 10 p.m. I was like, well, that's a bit early, like, I mean, sometimes like Match the Day starts at half 10,
no, it's nothing good on there.
I don't know.
Did you see the football midweek?
The
Carabao Cup.
United?
We're all buzzing for it. Yeah, United.
Yeah, fucking
I was
hell.
loving life because it's Frankie Lampard's the manager.
Carabao Cup?
I think it's called the Carabao
Is that what it
Cup.
is?
Some shit.
Jesus
Christ. League
Christ.
Cup anyway.
Here, I tell you what, the penalties were good though.
Fucking 15 penalties.
And they were all good penalties,
there was,
you know?
There was maybe two like decent.
Yeah, two decent.
The rest were all great.
Yeah, if you got those in the Champions League final, you'd be like,
creaming,
what is going on? Some of the penalties we've seen in the World Cup were dire compared to that.
And then just,
Phil Jones. I'll just scuff it in the corner. Yeah.
Poor bastard. I like that guy. He puts his heart out on his sleeve, Chris. God help him, he tries.
It's because he's not a looker, D.
But yeah, fantastic scenes.
Okay, let's get back. So nothing good happens after 2 a.m. You should be fucking sleeping by 2 a.m.
You should be, unless like if you're out on a Saturday night.
Yeah, that's
fair
fine.
enough.
That's fine. Fair enough.
But get to bed because 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real here.
Yep.
Chris, what time would you normally find yourself drifting off to the land
well,
of
before I kind of get into this whole, actually looking at how kind of sleep affected me, I think my sleeping schedule. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll talk about my sleeping schedule in a little bit. But I didn't realize, D, that sleep deprivation actually kills you quicker than food deprivation does.
That's right.
Do you know that? That's crazy.
It's like 3 days or something.
To think that you can't. Well, the world record for going without sleep is actually 11 days.
Yeah, I seen that guy. Did you ever see the video of that guy?
No.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
That looks
He was
sounds
dead on his feet. He was just like, someone came over and interviewed him after.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "How do you feel?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm tired." He's so busted. Like
what?
His eyes were like.
Did he do it just to see how long he
could do it? Although that's not true. Staying awake because there were like micro sleeps in there. So apparently, it's just like your body will not let you. It won't let you keep going. Like so, if you sit still for like a minute, it'll sleep.
No
eyes
way.
Wide open. You could, if someone called your name, you could respond. But in that time in between, your brain is going, nope.
No way.
And it's like, James. Yep.
Class.
Yeah.
There used to be a program on Channel 4 called Shattered, where
Shattered.
contestants were put into a house, and whenever they fell asleep, they were out.
Oh.
And the last one
Sounds
awake.
awful.
Sounds like a great premise for a show. As it went on, people got crankier,
Oh, right, no.
But yeah, it actually kills you quicker than food deprivation does, which I found kind of astonishing.
But I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think anyone's ever died from it.
Well, I don't know.
Your body's just going to go, nope, and you're going to conk out.
Well, maybe that's happened while someone was driving and then they died.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You know what I mean?
It's not going to work out well.
No.
Put it that way.
We actually spend a third of our lives sleeping, D, which again is another fact that beforehand I heard. Like I remember reading that before ages ago, and I was like, "Oh, like you spend a third of your life sleeping," and then thought nothing of it, and I was like, "Wait, a third of my life? Like that's like." Well, put it like this: if I only live to 60. My life so far, like I've spent like all but 6 years of it asleep, basically.
All but 6? What?
Yeah, right. Or all but 4 asleep, if that makes sense. I'm butchering that. Basically, if you only live to 60, you're going to spend 20 of those years sleeping, is what it's trying to say. Which is
a lot. But at the same time, you could just argue that are you it's only when you're awake that you're like experiencing life. So you really live. I don't know. You really only live 60 years.
Yeah.
Or 40 years if you die at 60. You know what I mean?
So that kind of got me thinking because it was like...
Do we need sleep?
Well, no. Can
we beat sleep?
Beat the sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start our own campaign. Beat the sleep.
Sleep has been wasting our time for years and it's time we stop.
If we spend a third of our lives sleeping, we should at least,
have a good bed.
Well, we should be trying to achieve the best quality sleep we possibly can.
This is it.
Because it's such a large portion of your life for a start. You've heard of the 7-year itch, like with beds and stuff. You ever hear that?
No.
So you buy a bed, it's supposed to last you like 6 or 7 years, something like that. You're not supposed to have to replace your bed or mattress for 6 or 7 years. Most people don't. Most people bypass that and then they're left with like shitty beds, shitty sleep cycles and all. But before I get into all that there, I kind of read up about like ways and means. So do you know any ways or means that we can ensure that we kind of get good sleep?
I know of a couple.
These are a couple of practices that I've actually started now.
Cut out the blue light.
Yes, big one.
Big one.
So
all you phone users
didn't realize this for the longest time, right? But like blue light.
And it's not like literally blue light, but it's like blue light waves.
Yeah, exactly. Because whenever I heard this, I was like, blue light. I was like, right, well, I don't have any blue lights, so I'll be fine. And then I thought, oh shit, I've got coloured LEDs. I'll put them on green. I'm fine. You know, I'm
put
fine.
them on green.
That's what I thought. And then I thought,
then
I researched it, and I was like, no, blue is the most calming colour. And I was like, well, this is just contradictory. You know what I mean?
This is true.
But blue light is like this artificial light, basically, that comes off your phone. It comes off TV, tablets.
Yep.
You can get it from light bulbs and stuff as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like them fluorescent light bulbs.
Fluorescent light bulbs.
Yeah. Incandescent.
Most phones give you like a blue light filter or like a nighttime filter
or a comfort view,
something like that, where it kind of dims your screen.
Yeah.
I still don't trust that 100%.
I use that. I have it in mine. Look at this.
I have it in mine at the minute. Mine's always on that. But
oh, you want to see mine, Chris? Mine takes the piss. Mine basically goes like red.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To cut it out. I go to the extreme because I don't want that blue light helping my eyes.
Well, this is one of the ways that you can, of course, like help yourself into getting a better night's sleep.
It's better just to not go on your phone.
They say blue light, cut out all blue light sources an hour before you go to bed. So you're not getting that kind of stimulus from your phones, your TV, your tablet, whatever. Cut it all out an hour. So if you know, right, I'm going to try to get some sleep at 10 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, put down your phone. Say whatever you have to say. You know, creep Facebook for the last time. Put it down. Face down. Put it in the charger. Whatever you got to do.
And put it away from your bed.
Exactly. Get it away from you. You're not tempted by it.
I don't do that, but I know you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But I don't.
That's number one. I think...
You see the kicker about blue light? It's because it's the same wavelength as the sun. So whenever your eye is like interpreting this blue light, your brain is going, well, that's the signal we get to stay awake. Sun's out, don't go to sleep. So it's kind of fucking with your brain chemistry. That keeps you awake. Really? Yeah. That's why it's the same kind of mechanism. And that's why whenever the sun goes down, like in a natural, like way back when, the sun goes down, you get tired because you don't have that stimulus anymore.
Is that why you can get blue light like to wake you up?
Exactly right, yeah. You get a big blue light and you put it up in front of your table when you're taking your breakfast and it'll wake you up for the day.
No way.
Activate the, cortisol or some shit.
Because there's like alarm clocks and stuff that you can get that's not actually an alarm. What it'll do is you program it to a time and it'll start to like beam this light basically onto your bed and it'll naturally waken you. I think that's phenomenal.
That's pretty awesome. I have that now in my room as well because I have one of those like you control the light from your phone. Yeah. Class. So it comes on at like a half hour before I wake up just to get the light in the room, wake me up.
Does it work?
It helps. I'll definitely get out of bed quicker when the light's on. Keep you won't fall back to sleep.
I tend to leave my blinds open at night.
Yeah, so
and
the sun comes
then
in.
around 6:30, 7ish, like it's starting to get brighter, and I kind of just not like if I wake at all, I kind of naturally know, okay, I'm nearly, it's nearly time to get up, and I'm not like groggy or what, if I just wake up and I'm like,
I think that definitely helps. Yeah.
You can promote a comfortable sleeping habit by controlling a couple of things. So the temperature of your room, making sure it's as dark as possible and as quiet as possible.
Yeah.
So that's big steps. I haven't actually taken temperature in my room. I just like having a colder bedroom anyway.
I think that's the goal here is to be a bit cooler than the rest of the house.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
They want you to be a bit cooler.
Yeah, I would much prefer my room to be cooler anyway, just for the fact that when I get under the covers, I like to be like, oh, I'm nice and warm here now, and then I know the room is cold, kind of way. So I just leave my window open a little bit. Dark as possible. I haven't went to the measures of like buying a blackout blind, but this is what it suggests.
No. Yeah. I mean, I heard that once. It's like literally like, say you have a TV, the TVs have a little red standby light. They're saying that is affecting your sleep.
Yeah. I've seen that before.
Something as small as that is affecting your sleep.
People are saying like you should put tape, like black tape.
I've done that.
Have you? Yeah. Does it help?
Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in Belfast, but back home.
I would imagine like if I was lying there and I had like maybe like the standby button for the TV, the PlayStation, the Xbox, or whatever, and it's all there, I could kind of be like, oh fuck.
It's funny when there's a lot of it, I don't mind, but when there's one
red dot.
Yeah.
I used to be like that with my alarm clock. I used to have one of those alarm clocks, like the digital alarm clocks. It was like red, and I just used to sit in the corner and I just used to be like. And I used to find myself just counting down the hours because I was sitting looking at this clock for most of the night, and I was like, "Oh God, this is horrible." But no, I don't go to any measures yet. I'd like to get a blackout blind, I really would, but they're dear.
Yeah,
they are. They're quite dear. Like for like my window, like you're talking like 50, 60 quid.
That's a lot.
And I'm like, that's a lot, but
the quality of your sleep, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do other things. You can put up sheets. You can put up, stuff like that.
I mean, heavy curtains. Heavy curtains are
curtain,
gonna help.
Yeah.
Do you have any curtains or just blinds?
Just blinds.
So you need curtains.
Yeah. and then making it obviously as quiet as possible. So, no, some people go to bed in noise cancelling headphones, but I don't know because I toss and turn in my sleep, so I'd probably just crush them.
Funny, I remember when I was in uni, I was using earbuds.
Do they work?
They work. Oh, a dream.
Do they?
Oh, so good.
I had a fear that if I bought earbuds,
you wouldn't hear your alarm.
I wouldn't hear my alarm, or they'd just fall out and be a waste of money or something.
Fall out. Mine, the ones I got were like I got like a pack of 50 of them. So you're not supposed to reuse. Eventually, they wear away and they stop because they're like spongy. So they go, you squeeze them down, you put them in the ear, and then they expand to fill. But I use them a lot in uni just because it was a noisy street.
Are these like the ones you get in airplanes and stuff?
Don't know. I never used them on airplanes. But
they're
cheap. Like they're only like a fucking $5. I would recommend them if you're living in a noisy place. I remember Liam was telling me because he did his dissertation on this, studying the effects of noise on people sleeping.
Right.
And it's like even like the smallest noise, like even if it doesn't waken you, it's affecting your sleep.
It is affecting your sleep.
It's not like you wake up and it's noise, you're like, oh fuck, this is annoying me. I'm not sleeping, so I'm gonna be tired.
Yep.
Even if you don't waken, your brain is still hearing that noise, it's still in the background doing stuff, so it's not in a proper state of rest.
That's mad.
I know.
Do you ever find, right, that if you're sleeping, and this is really weird because it's hard to explain, but I know it's happened to me before, where if I'm sleeping and I'm having a dream, right, and say my mum starts hoovering out in the background, right, and I'm still sleeping, and subconsciously I can hear that hoover. But then in my dream, someone will be hoovering, or it'll be going on. Does that happen?
I think that's a pretty common thing.
Does that happen? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like I can't think of any specific examples.
Background stimulus definitely affects like your sleep.
It definitely does. I actually have a perfect example of this, and this is one that's going to fuck all yous up. Do not fall asleep.
Right.
When watching Inception.
What?
Because it will mess you up.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
No way.
I fell asleep
That's
watching
like the
Inception.
perfect movie to watch.
Yeah. And my sister came in and she's like, James, dinner's ready. And I was like, what? No, hold on. Hold on for a second. What level of the dream are we in? I was like, what level of the dream are we in? She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, bro. Seriously,
holy shit.
What level of the dream are we in? She's like, what are you talking about?
Where's the kick? Where's the kick?
Yeah.
No way.
I was like waking it up and I was like, what am I talking about?
You
I'm
are
not
completely
in Inception.
gone. No way.
Mate, I was dreaming about it. It was so weird. But
yes,
that has
that's
happened
crazy,
to me.
man.
It's one of the weirdest experiences of my life.
That sounds terrific.
I remember feeling like I didn't even feel embarrassed. I was just like that astounded that I'd fallen asleep watching Inception. I was like, that was such a big mistake on my part.
That's brilliant. I definitely think background noise does affect. So maybe earphones. I mean, we're relatively quiet here anyway.
The countryside's perfect.
Countryside's fine.
I live beside a fucking train track.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go during the night, so it's actually it's almost like an alarm. It starts around 7 o'clock. So
gets you going. Gets you going.
Except for whenever they're working on it at like 3 a.m.
Oh no.
I've heard chainsaws going.
No, you haven't.
I swear to God, I've heard it.
No way.
Yeah.
Where we used to live, there was the chicken houses.
Oh yeah.
And every couple of months, you'd just get with the power would shut out, and whenever that happened, the alarm would go off.
Oh.
And it would just go. It would play for what seems like hours. Just this like.
Could you hear any of the chickens from me?
No, unless they opened up the doors and we're doing cleaning and stuff. But even then, you didn't hear chickens. It was kind of just like a hum. Like a buzz.
It is. I used to collect eggs in a chicken house.
Yeah.
And you'd walk in because it'd be really quiet.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of like roosting or whatever. And then you switch on the lights because you have to go in. And it's just like a.
It just stays at that level.
Like THX?
THX,
yeah. And I'm just like, what?
And it stays at that level. Then.
Yeah,
it's
they just don't shut up.
I know.
We used to have a rooster around our road back home.
Serious?
And it's some people like it. Mummy likes it.
Yeah.
Bruno does not.
What if do you ever put a bucket over its head?
Well, it's not our rooster.
Oh God.
So this would not be appropriate.
We
how the fuck do you get a bucket over? That sounds like a joke.
We
ever put a bucket on a rooster?
We visited my uncle down in Clare when he kept chickens, and I think he had a rooster as well at one point. And he had to put a bucket over its head at night, like a pretty big. It was like a big kind of basin, so it didn't register when it was morning.
Oh, so it wouldn't.
So no, it wouldn't crow.
Oh, right.
I didn't notice that much. What I did notice though a couple of times when I've stayed at Ashlyn's house is donkeys. Donkeys are ruthless fuckers in the morning. It's like and it goes for fucking ages, man. It will destroy your sleep. Like, Number 4, invest in good quality bedding. This is everything from your sheets to your mattress to your bed frame. This makes a massive difference.
It does,
do you ever get that feeling whenever like you get your sheets washed and you put them on your bed and it's just like,
oh, so good.
Yeah, imagine having that every single day with good quality bedding. That's what it's like. Just invest in high quality. Yeah, get yourselves good, like a double pair. So like 2 really good sheets, 2 really good duvet covers, and then a couple of like pillowcases, and then swap them out, at the end of the week or whatever you got to do. And big difference. Now, something I have to get is another bed frame for myself, because I recently bought myself a really good mattress, but the bed frame is kind of lackluster underneath, so it's not fully supporting the mattress. So I need something that's just got to just get that right.
I have broken like so many slats in my bed.
Yes, that's what I mean. And there's bits here and there, and I'm just like, oh.
It's like, I need to get that fixed.
Pockets.
You kind of just neglect, for some reason you neglect.
Get out of bed in the morning, you can see like a patch that you've obviously lay on the night and it's sunk, and it's just like, I'm not getting a good night's sleep on that. So that's a big one.
Don't cheap out on the mattress. You got a good mattress.
Like, I got a good mattress, and to be fair, I'll not get another good mattress until I move out from home. And then I'll get a really good mattress, and that'll probably do me. Finally, this is a massive one, Dean. This is something that I've recently taken up. So we've already talked about switching off phones and electronic devices. Something you should do before you sleep is read something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read a book's good.
Be it a couple of pages in a book, a magazine,
erotic novel.
Erotic novel.
Whatever you feel.
But this does not mean you read something on your phone or your Kindle or whatever.
Oh, is the Kindle not good?
No, apparently it still gives off like that kind of blue light, even if you're using that haze. I mean, you can use it,
there are some Kindles. I don't know if it's the more expensive or the less expensive ones that use electronic ink. Do you hear this?
No.
So it's like imagine like the original Nintendo. There's no backlight. It's just just putting black dots on a white canvas. And Louise had one of those. They were pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if that'll affect you. I don't know if it's blue light or not.
I've started reading, and I'll read a good bit of night. I'll get to what I do. Some of the other tips are remove caffeine before bed.
Oh, for sure.
So obviously, like, you're not consuming like monsters like we just have. I mean, this is a real one-off, to be fair. Like, every night I wouldn't drink a monster before bed.
No. I even stopped taking tea, and there's very little caffeine.
Minimal.
I don't take tea after 6 o'clock.
No,
because
after 6. Yeah.
It takes time for that shit to get out of your system.
Yeah, it does.
Even if it's a very small amount.
Try not to eat a big meal before bed. Now, this is a weird one, because I always felt like, when I eat a big meal, I'm just ready for sleep. You eat a big Christmas dinner or a big pizza or something, you're just like, I'm ready for bed.
But it's like, if you think about the logic behind it.
Your body's got to work overtime to try to process that. So you're not going to rest. You're not going to shut down properly. You know what I mean?
Your body's working while you sleep. So
exactly.
That's it.
Something I've started doing as well is you should stretch before you get into bed.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Stretch. Big time. And then white noise or a fan in your room can be a big fan of fans.
Fuck. I didn't mean that at all.
Big fan of white noise.
Big fan of white noise.
I remember you told me about white noise before, but to be honest, man, I've tried it on Spotify, right? And I've tried it and stuff. And I'm just like, this is weird, because it's like, it's unnatural or something.
Nope. Really, I'm going to do it for you here now. This is what I have absolutely every night.
Yeah?
Yeah, where is
it? Will you listen to this through headphones or just through your phone?
Just through my phone, just play it out loud. Let's see. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I'll laugh out loud.
It's coming. It's called Lullaby on my alarm.
Oh, wonderful. Hope you're enjoying the sleep podcast.
It's a thunderstorm. And it's... I don't know if you guys can hear that.
That's wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Every night.
Wow.
Except whenever it's actually raining.
Here, plug
will this work?
Plug this here plug that there into the headphone jack.
Okay, here we go.
We can show.
We're trying something. We've got new technology. We've got new hardware.
This is going to help you sleep.
To try something. Here we go. Is it registering, Chris?
Mm-hmm. It should be. Oh, it's registered. So this is white noise. So this is basically your white noise as you sleep.
This is what I hear every night.
Wow.
It's good. Except whenever it's actually raining. Because when it's actually raining, Chris,
I
listen to the rain. Okay.
I hope that works.
So do I.
Yeah. I think it should be switched on anyway. No, you see, I found like real unnatural white noise, and it's like, you know, like 50 hertz, and it's like 60 hertz, and it's like white noise for babies and stuff like that. And I'm like,
there are ones on here like wheel diving, and it's like, you know, like, you'd think that sounds relaxing. It freaks me out.
Wheels freak me out at the best.
I don't like that. So. There's other ones that like kind of.
Do you get that on Spotify?
Nope. What's an app? Oh, here's like this one app revolutionized my entire sleeping habits. It's called Sleep for Android or Sleep as Android or something like that. Sleep as Android.
Okay.
And it comes with those white noises. It gives you an alarm when you should go to bed. If you want to have 8 hours sleep, it'll say go to bed.
Okay.
And you'll get 8 hours sleep.
That'd be useless for me.
And it does things like it's got smart alarms, so it won't wake you up right on the dot when you want to be woken up.
Mm-hmm.
It'll track your sleep movements, your habits on the
How
bed.
does it do that though? You're just on through movement in the bed?
You leave the phone on the bed and it sort of checks movements, and it can detect whenever you are in a wakeful period.
So like it'll know when you're in deep REM or whatever, and kind of know. Wow.
No, don't wake now. Wait until.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. Did I ever think about the one time I woke up this year? It doesn't happen often, but it happened to me once, and I'll never forget it.
No.
I woke up one morning. The alarm was gradually rising, has that feature too, and I just opened my eyes and I was awake.
No.
And I've never experienced that once before in my life. The alarm was just starting to rise, and I just opened my eyes and I was like, I'm ready to get up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was so happy because I just got up out of bed.
So like you didn't wake and you weren't like, groggy, and you weren't like.
None of that. It just worked out perfectly.
That's beautiful.
Most mornings I don't feel too bad getting out of bed.
What a beautiful story.
But that morning was just something else.
I'm going to tell you about my sleep cycle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you my previous sleep cycle. And I'm going to tell you my new sleep cycle.
Okay. Spot the difference.
Previous sleep cycle. So this is like on a night, either I'm off work or I'm not working late or something like that. So I'd be down with my family. I'd go up to my room probably around 9 o'clock, and I'd take up with me my last meal. My last meal in rights, which was normally at that point, it does depend how my diet kind of goes, but was normally cereal with milk, either a protein bar or some high protein yogurt, and some peanut butter, and a green tea, a couple of muffins, and a green tea and some water. I would flick on Scrubs or Parks and Rec, and I'd be like, right, let's go. And I'd start at maybe 10 o'clock, and I'd just sit on the bed, and I'd watch and watch and watch, and then I'd be like, right, I'd turn off the lights, I'd keep the TV on, I'd jump into bed maybe at 11, half 11, and that would be me to about half 12, maybe 1, when I feel like I'm falling asleep, and then I just have enough in me to turn off the PlayStation, and that's it, then I'll pass out.
Yeah.
And some nights, some mornings I wake up and I'll be like, right, I had a decent enough sleep, but I never really thought anything of it. I just kind of felt like I slept and that was it. My sleeping pattern now would be, I don't drink caffeine, like you say, after. I'll stop at about 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. My last meal is now yogurt, just high protein yogurt.
What time do you have that?
I have that, normally I'll have it like as I go up to bed, so... So
only messing.
So I've started at 9 o'clock now is like my cutoff point for technology and stuff. So TV's off, phone's off. I'll say goodnight to Ashleen or whatever I got to do. I'll sign out all my apps, turn it down, put it in the charge, whatever I got to do, and that's it. I'll walk away from it, set my alarm, walk away. I've bought a couple of books, so I started reading. And then I have a green tea. You ever hear that puka tea?
Yeah. Good.
Got a really good, there's 2 really good ones. There's one called Relax and there's one called Bedtime Tea or like Night Tea. Really, really good tea. It's just like, it's no caffeine, and it's just like enough of like a sweet kind of green tea taste, and it's just, it just gets you, I don't know, just gets you kind of.
Chamomile tea is meant to be good for going to bed.
Exactly. There's chamomile in one of these, and it's just like, it's just great. I also, for the last 2 weeks, I've started beginner's yoga, you could say. So I was listening to a podcast, and this guy was kind of like, you need to stretch. He like swears by stretching. It was actually the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking to Dave.
Elon Musk, right?
He was talking to Dave Goggins, and definitely cannot recommend listening to that man's story enough. But he swears by stretching, so I was like, right, I'm going to give this a go. And I put on like this kind of like relaxing ambient music on my phone. started stretching. Before I knew it, I had done an hour of like vigorous stretching on my legs and my back, and I was like, fuck.
Vigorous stretching.
Yeah, I was like, because I started off and I was like, you know, I was sitting on the floor and I went to like grab like behind my calves and my hamstrings were pulling, and I was like, okay. And you know, you're supposed to hold it for like 10 deep breaths and then come back up and then go again, and you know, you'll reach a wee bit further this time and hold that and keep going. And I swear to God, Dee, by the end of it, I just felt so flexible. I felt good. I showered. And now I'm doing that 3 times a week now. I make a point of actually setting aside time to take an hour and just completely stretch myself out. I've seen it cross over into work. I've seen it cross over into training. I've had zero like kind of knee pain at work from I started stretching. I think it's because I'm stretching my calves out, my hamstrings out now. It's not pulling on my knee as much. And it just feels really, really good. So I cannot recommend stretching before bed enough. And yeah, I've just started reading, switching everything off. And then when I feel like I'm ready I read for about half an hour, 40 minutes, lie down, all lights off. And recently I've been falling asleep on my back and sleeping like through the night, basically on my back, which is a rare enough thing for me.
About that.
Yeah, it's so relaxing. It's crazy.
I would normally sleep on my side.
Same. What side do you sleep on?
I don't know. My left. Probably my left.
I would sleep mainly on my right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just completely different.
Yeah. I mean, if we shared a bed, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
so we're not.
We can constantly be facing each other.
No. Oh yeah, damn.
Oh no. Well, we could do it the other way. We
constantly
back
never
face each other. But I wanted to, you know.
We'd be
that's fine though.
We'd be top to toe though. What an awkward bed that would be. But yeah, that's what I've started doing. I absolutely swear by it now. It's good. Crazy how much like
it's just good to get a habit.
Just like kind of thinking about your sleep and actually making a point of changing it. It's made a big difference. I'm going to continue this and see how long I can kind of keep.
I did that, not the stretching, but I did the same sort of pattern for a while. Yeah. So I would do the thing where I'm off the phone, or if I was on the phone, it was for setting my alarm to go to bed. I was reading, avoiding the bed.
Yeah.
Another top tip is just don't go to the bed until you're ready to sleep. The bed is for sleep and for sex, and that's it. So avoid the bed until you're going to bed. I was doing that. I did that more at home than I did in Belfast because
it's just easy.
I really just have my room in Belfast.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I kind of just sit on the foot of the bed.
Yeah, I understand. My room
is tiny in Belfast.
I sit at like the side of my bed. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
But you don't lie in, because I used to do that. I used to be awful just for that. I'd lie in bed and go on the laptop. I would lie in bed and watch TV.
Yeah.
So now I will try and watch TV and stuff sitting on the couch or something.
I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense. If you're just constantly laying there and then you go to bed, like your brain has no kind of, you know, it can't differentiate between what you were doing previous and what you're trying to do now.
It's like, you know that they're like Pavlov's dog or whatever, where it's like every time he rung the bell, he would feed the dog. So it got to the point where he'd ring the bell, the dog would just come even if there was no food.
Yeah.
And you can make... Yeah. That's like a thing. It's like the habit. Your mind is like, you go to bed, you go to sleep.
Yep.
And now if you're like in bed, you're not sleeping, it's like, well, you do loads of stuff in the bed. Because we're all just animals.
We are all animals.
But in recent times, I'm not following that nearly as strictly, but I do follow the same things. I don't take caffeine too late. I try not to eat too late. I'm in bed a lot more often than I should be probably. Yeah. But yeah. Just being aware of these things and you'll get better sleep.
I'm going to hit you up with a couple of fun facts before we finish off our talk just about sleep that you may not know. Cool. 12% of people dream entirely in black and white.
Well, that's weird. I never even thought of that.
A noir.
Those
Sin City.
Those people are obviously very cultured.
2/3 of a cat's life is spent asleep. So 1/3 of our life is spent asleep. 2/3 of a cat's life is spent asleep. A giraffe only needs 1.9 hours of sleep a day, whereas a brown bat needs 19.9. Jesus. Isn't that crazy? Like, you'd think it would be the opposite way about, being like a big animal and a smaller animal.
True, actually.
You know? It's not uncommon for deaf people to use sign language in their sleep.
I mean, that makes sense. Because people talk in their sleep.
Yeah.
That is weird. You just don't think about that.
Dysania or dysania is the state of finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's actually a syndrome. It's a form of chronic fatigue syndrome. So there you go. Parasomnia is a term that refers to unnatural movements during your sleep, and the sensation of falling when half asleep and jerking yourself awake is called hypnic jerks.
I hate that.
I hate that too. We feel it.
And you're just like, you experience all of the real anxiety of falling without falling. It's awful.
Yeah.
What about those like countries like Iceland and stuff where like during the summer there are times where there is no night.
No night, I know. What do they do?
Did you ever see it? There's a film called, and it's by Chris Nolan actually. It's called Insomnia. Oh. And I think Al Pacino's in it. Al Pacino and Robin Williams are in it.
Brilliant.
And it's set way up in North Alaska where there is just a constant day, and it drives people insane.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like that thing, whenever there's a full moon, like people are crazy. Like.
Yeah. Why is that? Is that
just because it's messing up with your
But is that true with the full moon thing? Yeah.
Apparently, I think it's more.
We're in a full moon cycle at the minute.
Oh boy, I've heard things. It's like people who work in hospitals and stuff. Like Laura was telling me this. Like people, if you work in a hospital, it's known that full moon, like, more shit happens.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I'm pretty sure there's some actual evidence that backs that up. Like,
within 5 minutes of waking up, 50% of your dream is forgotten.
I know, I hate that. Mm-hmm. I used to keep a dream diary for a while.
Really?
Yeah, not much happened.
Oh, damn. I'd love to read back in it, though.
I know,
you know what I mean?
But I stopped doing it because not much was happening.
Pain tolerance is reduced by sleep deprivation.
Fair enough.
41% of the British population sleep in the fetal position.
That's
curled up in a fetal position, yeah. Sleep experts have discovered a direct link between people's favorite sleeping positions and their personalities. Ideally, falling asleep at night should take you 10 to 15 minutes. Humans are the only mammals that willingly delay sleep. Sleeping on your front can aid digestion.
These are great tips.
And fear is said not to be the main emotion in nightmares.
It's not fear. What is it? Like
researchers have found that the most often it's feelings of sadness, guilt, and confusion.
Makes sense.
So there you go. Some fun facts.
There are some fun facts
about sleep. Just in case anybody is listening to this and is interested in some of the material that kind of I've used definitely this week. Helpguide.org has a great page called How to Get a Better Night's Sleep. So I used it. The NHS, so nhs.uk, has a page on sleep tiredness, I think it's called. It's called How to Get Sleep. Good article there as well. And then this is the best one. It's jamesclear.com. And he has a thing on sleep. It's a really intricate guide as well. It's the purpose of sleep, how much you need, the cost of deprivation of sleep. It goes through stuff like cycles and circadian rhythm if you really want to get into it and stuff like that. But it's really interesting stuff. Not that I ever would make use of it, but it's interesting to know. I mean, you spend a third of your life sleeping, you may as well know what the hell you're doing and what's going on.
This is it.
So we kind of hope you enjoyed that. That's something a little bit different.
I would implore everyone who is still listening to look into their sleep habits because it helps so much.
Massively. I cannot explain how much more at one with myself. No, it's just I'm I don't know. You just
feel refreshed.
You feel a difference. Yeah. There is a difference, believe me. But with all that being said and out of the way, I think it's time we move on to our weeks or what we got up to do. Actually, I tell you what, we actually have a question.
Yeah, I was going to say
question came from Mr. J. Short. We don't normally read out the names of people who send us questions, but Jody has been writing into the podcast for pretty much from we started taking questions. Yeah, he normally has us out with the question every week, and we're very appreciative of that. He was just asking, D, will we be purchasing FIFA 19?
I think you will be.
I will be. I will be for the sole purpose of having tournaments here in the house with my dad and brothers. Yeah. But I will not be playing online. I will not be playing. I barely do my own career.
I don't think I get FIFA, to be honest with you.
No.
I haven't got FIFA for 6 years, so probably not.
You can play it when you call up here. I'll let you play it.
Can I come over and play?
Yeah, but you're player 2.
Oh.
Anything else?
Dibs on Barca.
Goddamn. Dibs on Celtic.
I think
your week, D.
My week has been
hit me up because
I was on the holidays.
You were on the holidays.
I was way off in Portugal.
How were your holidays?
They were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
The place looked great that you were.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Seen some snaps.
Lisbon, Chris. It was in Lisbon in Portugal. Or Lisboa. Apparently. I don't know how.
Is that what it's called?
Seemingly so. It was lovely, yeah. It was 30 degrees basically every day. It was much too hot.
Nice.
Much too hot.
Yeah.
Sat in the shade. I'd got no tan whatsoever. You can see that. I was
going to say right now, if I didn't even notice that. I was just
lathering myself in cream.
Dipping myself into the bucket of cream.
I just stayed in the shade. I wore a cap I wore Murray's cap, actually.
Good, you took all the necessary
I didn't bring any of this stuff, I just took other people's.
to avoid sunstroke. Well done, sir.
But yeah, it was just awesome being away and not working for 5 days.
Yeah. It's nice to get that break, isn't it?
It was a lovely place. It was cheap. Day one, went up to like just some random place in the street, sat down, had a steak, €6.
What the fuck?
Right? €6.
€6.
To be fair now, it wasn't just a steak, it was a it was a cow steak.
What?
It was like cow steak, pork steak. Like it was a place that just and like they didn't ask me how I wanted it.
They were specific. No, it was just cooked. It was just steak.
Cooked. It was well done.
Steak.
But it was grand. It was €6.
€6.
I think we all had steak, or one of us had veal, and it was a big thing of veal, right?
Really?
We all had steak and veal, like big dishes, and we had 2 pints of beer each, and it came to 45 for 4 of us.
What?
It was like just in stupid cheap.
Wow.
And lots of cheap places, cheap beer. I had a lot of beer, a lot of good food. It was just really fun.
What was the best food you had?
We went for steak again. We went out to this like resort beach. We went up to just a restaurant beside it. Looked kind of fancy, kind of more expensive, but not like I think we paid €20-something for like a 600-gram steak.
That's top notch.
It was ribeye. It was delicious, and it was gorgeous. And we were overlooking the beach. We were overlooking like the resort town, and there was like a pool where pools there. It was awesome.
That sounds just like luxury.
It fucking was luxury. I was drinking mojitos.
Oh,
delicious mojitos.
Nice.
Oh man, it was just so much fun.
You had a great week away then, yeah?
I absolutely did.
Did you find it hard readjusting when you came home, or was it just like
I came home. I came home and I was like, I got home so late on the Friday night, and then it was like getting from Dublin back. I only got back as far as Newry, and then I had to stay in Newry for the night, and then I eventually got home, and then I was going back to Newry to go out again.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Liam's birthday. Yeah.
And then Sunday I got home and I had a couple hours rest, and I was going back up to Belfast.
So just all like, higgledy piggledy. All
just constantly had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then eventually got my
maybe
lie down.
Maybe that's that can be a good thing as well, because I know sometimes when you come home from holidays, especially if you're like traveling like from far away, you can be jet lagged and stuff. It's better. Say it's better just getting straight into a routine or doing stuff straight away. Well, it will tire you out, but at least you're back in some kind of normality.
Exactly. Like, I didn't sit and feel sorry for myself ever. Like I was just kind of I got to go do this.
That's me when I come home from holidays. I feel sorry for myself.
Although
I have a tendency to rebook within about 3 days.
It does take time. Like I was going back to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I was still tired. Like, and I was getting decent enough sleep. I was just needed to recoup from the last week. Like,
no, it happens. Like,
Oh, I'm telling you, babe. I'm telling you. What about yourself? Back at home in Ireland, eh?
Yeah, no, I had a very. I had my week off before your week off. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was back to work, back as per usual. It was a decent week at work. I think I have to put it down to just new habits that I've been picking up, like we spoke about. Yeah. Good night's sleep. I've started, practicing different kind of. I'm not going to say full yoga, but it's areas of yoga, stretching,
it's yoga-esque.
Stuff like that. It's yoga-esque. I'm reading a new book. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People.
Oh yeah,
which is good. It's interesting.
Have you developed any new habits?
Not yet. Well, I mean, I'm trying to teach myself to kind of see one of the first things in it. Yes. I want to see the future. It's trying to teach yourself to kind of see the full picture of situations before you make decisions. You have to be able to. One of the exercises in the book was kind of like it shows you like a picture of like an old lady, and it's saying to concentrate on it and think about helping the old lady across the road, like would you, and things like that. And it's like, right, flick the page 45. It's the same picture. It's just shaded in slightly different, and it's a young, attractive lady. Just how it's shaded. And it's like that's the exact same picture as before. You just seen it in a completely different light. So it's kind of teaching your mind, to step back, take the extra time, assess the situation, and then go, make your decision then after you have all the pieces. So I like things like that, I like things that I can kind of carry over into my work and stuff as well, which is good.
You're growing as a person.
I'm growing as a person. Yeah. I played very little this week. I played nothing today. I'm dabbling in and out of Spider-Man. Formula 1 I think is taking precedence. It's Formula 1 race weekend this weekend actually. Got the new equipment, so I've just been to be honest, I'm just more motivated than ever to keep pushing this podcast. Checking out some of the insights through Audio Boom, and I'm listening to more and more podcasts, and I'm just like, I really want to just keep pushing the name out there and, seeing how far we can go. I want to get people.
Promise podcast.
I want to get people to talk to us on the show. I want to get people to come in and want to talk. I want to see how far we can go. I want to see if we can get maybe some
viewers at home may not know this, but there's a seat right over there.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
That's for any of you.
I want to get. I want to see if we can possibly get looking at doing some live stuff as well and seeing how that goes, just to test and see whereabouts we are.
Experiment, Chris.
Yeah, pretty much.
Push the boundaries.
Actually, I have to bring this up. I seen the aftermath of Storm Alley out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Like holy shit! You can't get round Carna Forest Track no more. I mean, like trees that are like possibly 100 years old are completely ripped out of the ground. Like,
come here, we lost. There was a casualty, a death, just in was it Gosford? No. No, it wasn't Gosford. No, it was in around Slieve Gullion.
Oh shit!
Someone died working in the forest park.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fallen tree, like. So
why were they working during the storm?
I'm not sure if they were working or if they were just there, but I think I heard that they were like an employee of it, so they might have just been going through to check.
That's mad. That's crazy. Huh? Yeah, it was. I didn't realize it was as vigorous as it was, and then I seen even just out there's trees that are completely ripped.
I seen your Instagram story. It was like the mushroom houses over there.
They were. I was expecting to come home from work and them be gone.
Yeah,
we had a very slow day at work that day as well. I thought for 1 second the roof was gonna lift, and then I was like, no.
There was a lot of power outages as well. I heard.
Yeah, we were out of power here for hours. That was my first day back at work, D, and I was getting ready to go to work, and next thing the power went out, and I was like, shit. So there was no water heater and there was no shower. And I was like, I'm going to have to take a freezing cold shower on my first day back at work.
Our shower in Belfast is busted as well.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Like, don't get me wrong. I can withstand a cold shower. I will take a cold shower over, no shower. But whenever the luxuries of a hot shower and you just want a hot shower and it's a cold day, so disappointed now.
A completely random note here for you, Chris, just in case you ever want to know this.
Yeah.
The water pressure in Lisbon is exceptional.
Really?
We were taking showers and it's not like there's no shower like component. It's just the tap, like like a head or a shower head on the end of like a thing, and like it's like a power shower.
Really?
It was so good. Hot water beating down on you. It was so relaxing.
I like that.
And then I came back to Belfast and it was like.
I also had that experience when I was in Liverpool doing my training out there. The kind of place that we said the showers were amazing. I missed them so much. Yeah, I mean this was like a big shower you kind of walk into, and it was just this giant head and massive water flow.
I fucking love a good shower. Like,
I love it as well.
I think I would prefer a power shower, like a steaming hot one, over a bath.
Oh yeah, hands down, yeah. Baths have grown tired of me. I don't.
It just feels like you're in there and it's kind of like it's good at the start.
Yep.
And then that loses the novelty.
5-10 minutes in, you're kind of just like, that's it. I'm kind of I mean, I used to listen to podcasts and stuff, just to keep myself in them.
You can do that in the shower.
You can. I do.
Yeah.
Don't step out of the shower if you have a tile floor. Put something down. Put something down.
You want to skip on to the next episode of your favorite podcast? Make sure there's a tile down.
Yeah, we'll try coming up with something to help you with that. But like
we're developing an app.
We're developing towels.
Yeah.
Empty Promise podcast towels.
But these will fulfill the promise. They fulfill the promise of the empty promise.
They are highly not water retentive.
Highly illegal. We should not be selling them.
But that's it, D. That's all I've done. It's been a quiet week.
Quiet week. Well, some weeks just are quiet, Chris.
That's it.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
I had something else to bring up as well. I was working during the week. Somebody came to me at work and said, "Can I go and get a drink?" And I was like,
No.
"Yeah, of course you can go and get a drink." And they're like, "Right, okay." And I was like, why would you even ask me, if you can get a drink? And they were like, "Well, I've worked in some places before and they don't let you." And I was like, I just thought about it and it was like, where we live, like in our country, in our world, like we're a first world kind of civilization. No one should ever be dehydrated. Ever.
So they were literally talking about like a drink of water or something?
Yeah.
That's mad.
And I was just like, no one should ever in this state be dehydrated. You should always, at all times, have a bottle of water. I don't care. You should always be hydrated. There's no excuse for it.
Or have access to hydration.
It's something that you are in full control of, and you have full access to.
I'm nearly certain you're not allowed, like if the water in your building isn't running, you can go home.
Really?
It's like a
right
human right. You need to have running water. Like.
It's crazy. I just got. It was one of those. It was like a shower thought, I feel like, and I was kind of just like, we have no excuse to ever be dehydrated where we live. Like, we can go to a tap and switch it on, no problem. We have bottled water, we have means, you know, we have fresh springs. I was just like, there's no reason we should ever.
We've all been there out in the fresh spring, filling up our jug of water.
Oh, well, I've made a point, D, in the past couple of weeks as well. That's another thing. I've been doing really well for my body, I think. And I've been making sure I'm getting at least, 4 liters of water. That's a gallon of water a day. Like,
that's a lot of water.
That's loads. Because I have like a little jug thing, and it's 2 liters in itself. So I just got it twice.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I used to do that. I used to get at least 2 liters of water in work a day. Yeah, I fell out of the habit. It's very easy done.
Yeah, because anytime I'm training, like I drink like a liter and a half without thinking. I'm just.
You kind of need that, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
Your bodily fluids.
Apparently, like if you're like 1% dehydrated, like your performance suffers like 5%. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, but I don't know. That's just something to think about. You should never be dehydrated. Just drink water.
Hydrate, you damn fools.
Drink fucking water. Even if I don't care if you don't like water.
Water's awesome. Put some dilute and orange in it.
Yeah, do whatever the hell you have to do. Just fucking drink something. Don't drink shit that's going to dehydrate you. Oh, I got a new coffee. I got a new coffee influx. Did you see that in the story?
I did not.
Ashley topped me up. So I've been running low on coffee for a while. And then she went and just like splurged and just got me an absolute motherload shipment of coffee.
Awesome.
And I was just like, and she got me like,
it's the pods, yeah.
These new special fancy cups and spoons and all for it. And I'm just like, I've become quite the connoisseur. I had a really nice decaf one in there before we came out. Did you see that?
I did see that, yeah. I seen the glass as well.
Very, very nice day. So I'm really delighted with that. So I'm going to continue to enjoy my coffee this week.
Some things never change.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm going to continue to not enjoy coffee.
I think that's it. I think my boss left this week. It was the last day. It was the last day today.
Well, a guy from our work left today. Last day today.
You serious?
Serious.
Yeah, it's a bad day for leaving. So
Thursday's by. You don't want to go on a Thursday.
I'll miss him, but it's got to bring so much fucking change now, and I'm just like,
I know change is not necessarily always good.
What is it? I heard another saying this week, and it was like, is it change is as good as rest or something like that? There's something stupid.
A change is as good as a rest.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
So it's like if you change what you're doing in your life, it's almost as good as taking a break for.
Well, that's absolute bullshit.
I don't know. I would subscribe to that.
You think that
it's like if you do the same shit day in day out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I just need a break from this.
Yeah.
If you go and do something new, something refreshing, that's almost as good as taking a week off.
Oh, I don't know about that.
A change is as good as a break.
Really?
I don't know. You imagine you're doing the same shit every single day, and then one week they say, "All right, Chris, we don't want you in Home Bargains in Armagh. We want you to go up to, I don't know, why not Carniforest and cut wood." And you do that for a week, and you're like,
"But I'd be fucking exhausted." That's not good.
I know, but you'd be like, "Oh, that's something different."
No, I don't know.
The monotony of your day.
I've actually thought about this, DN, as well. I think I'm going to start using the podcast as a means as well. I work in a store where we are getting ridiculous products through the door, every day, new products and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think for a little segment in this show, I might start taking one, my product of the week, if you like, something that I've seen.
Product of the week.
So fresh.
That was beautiful.
So fresh.
If you ever need an intro for this new segment, that's it.
That's it right
there.
Go
and clip that.
Yeah, I'll clip it right now. That's 139 we need. 139. But yeah, I think I might just start picking up some random products, D. I'm going to take them in here. And if anybody's interested in some of the products you can buy from Home Bargains, I will have them here, and we will do first-hand.
So you're now doing free advertising for Home Bargains.
Well, I don't know.
I did not sign up for this.
I mean, there's some stuff that I really want to get and have it in here just to see stuff that I think you'll enjoy as well. So we might start that from next week. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been the Empty Promise podcast, episode 60, if you will. Thank you for joining us on another splendid evening. We hope this podcast found you well. Remember, you would be doing us a massive favor if you subscribe to the channel over at youtube.com/XIGaming. That is the umbrella we're under. I still think I need to talk to you about that after. Right. Yeah, remind me about that. But remember, then you can also find the audio version over on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Do we still do SoundCloud? Nope, we don't do SoundCloud. There's a podcast.
You can watch every episode up until last week's
on SoundCloud. If you want to catch up, it's a viable alternative.
That's going to be gone in
YouTube Music is something you can use if you pay for that or you subscribe to that. I don't know if you want to use that, but you'll find us pretty much everywhere.
Sure, follow us on Spotify. That's a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Spotify seems to be going well. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you'll find us there. To search for X8 Gaming. You can keep up to what we get up with. I put up quite a few polls and stuff like that. So if you want to see, every time he's
a great man for erecting a poll.
Every time I say it, I'm just like, I just picture me just putting. There we go, another poll.
Digging a hole and putting a poll.
Yeah, I definitely have to be a lot more present on my social media. I've been lacking as of late.
I was on holiday.
Today was like the first day I posted in a long time. So, but yeah, follow us there if you want to get spontaneous.
The occasional post.
Yeah, the occasional post. Thank you very much for finding this podcast. We hope to see you all next week. Thank you for all the support and questions. Yeah, we'll see you all next week. Goodbye and God bless.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoop, 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 whoop.